Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Tutors Talking with your lovely host, Audrey Codner. We are privileged, and plus, I'm giving you a little bit of blessing that we're getting someone that's not math. Hey, switching it up. But if you are a homeschool, I like a lot of people say homeschool mama, homeschool papa, and you are kind of new to the whole thing, this is definitely the live for you. So we have Miss Nancy Vanberg, which is the shortened version of her name, which we are so greatly for, that is here to actually bless us with her presence and also to help us out with also this homeschool thing, especially for elementary ed people. So, Nancy, thank you for coming.
Audrey, thanks for having me on your show. Two Tutors Talking is like so us, right? Like we've been tutoring, we've been doing our thing for a long time now. And
I know.
it's crazy. And I've been working with kids so much for like since 2018. So a couple of years ago, I started doing kindergarten homeschool, which is a course for mamas like who want to homeschool their preschooler and kindergartner and want to do it with with the academic rigor and support without having to just kind of get like all curriculum dumped on their front doorstep. Here you go, just go ahead and do kindergarten homeschool. So I had a family I was tutoring, and the mom was like, Nancy, I'm doing it. I'm going to definitely homeschool my kindergartner. You've already taught her how to read. What am I going to do? And I said, well, this is exactly what I've been dreaming about doing since I left the classroom, is to empower mamas to teach their kids how to read in a way that is in a homeschool environment, because I know like keeping your kiddo home is like, it's really on the minds of a lot of mamas. Like, I want to homeschool my kid this year, right? So like I did it, I put it all together, and we worked through it. And last year we had another mama join, and this is our third year of kindergarten homeschool, and we are so excited because we're going to be hosting a vision board workshop next week to help mamas of preschool and kindergarteners who want to
Yes.
homeschool, yeah, put that vision together.
I think that's awesome because, like you're saying, there's a whole, and I've noticed this in the past, 3 years, going on four, that there's like a new breed of homeschool mamas coming in. Everyone, like you said, like everyone's like, all right, the schools aren't doing what I need for them to do, or, I can definitely be able to educate my child. Or some people really want to say, you know what? I am taking on this whole thing called parent to the extreme, meaning I want to teach my child. I don't want, the government putting their little 2 pieces in there or this person putting their little 2 cents in there. I want to teach my child, and they're really embracing it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get in, they're like, oh dear God, there's so much. I really want to take my child on hikes and do fun things and really kids, which you still can do, but there's always going to be, even if you're thinking about pulling your child out, there's always going to be some things that you have to do, you know, in order for the accreditation to really kick in, because that's what a lot of people kind of forget, that in order for you to say that, yes, my child is covered in first grade, they have to prove that, especially for the powers that big.
Yes, exactly. So getting into kindergarten is a great time because preschool and kindergarten, you don't have to necessarily document everything. And then when they get to first grade, you're already ready to document everything, right? So everything's like all in play. And I think that preschool and kindergarten is a great time to start to homeschool because you can't mess it up. You really can't. Like, you can say, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It isn't just all roses and hiking all the time. Homeschooling really is getting yourself accountable enough to hold your kiddo accountable enough to want to do those little formal sessions. So what does it look like? It just looks like learning your letters and sounds. It looks like learning about this means number one and how to write the number one and one-to-one correspondence. It's not writing a 5-page essay or going to the principal's office every week. And, it really is about, finding what can work for you as a parent. But I think one of the things that the parents have the biggest struggles with is accountability. And that's the whole thing. Like with kindergarten homeschool, we're getting ready for a super awesome fall. And I'm going to chunk it out so parents can choose. They could just work with us for the fall semester or the fall quarter and see how they go. And so it's a great way for a parent to try out like how they're going to go with their kindergarten homeschool, right? So they can kind of test the waters with a support group. And heck, it's kindergarten, so you're not going to mess it up again. And I'm just encouraging everyone who is even thinking about it to try to go a little bit deeper as to why you want to homeschool, right? And let that why be more of the driver as to what you're going to do, and let that be like the determiner to help you push forward with what you know in your gut that you want to do if you want to do homeschooling, right?
Exactly. And it's not so much, it has to be more than I just want to take my kid out of school. Like I'm noticing that, especially with the older students.
Okay.
During that pandemic, a lot of people were like, I don't think my child is getting the education that they need to get. And of course, I always ask the question, well, why? Why do you say that? Knowing that I know the answer why. But I'm like, I want you to become one with the answer. And a lot of them will say, my child doesn't know multiplication. I asked my child what 13 minus 4 was, and she was counting on her fingers. Or she took out her phone and she's using a calculator. And I'm like, the basic things were missing. And I always say there's so many factors that played into it. So it could be because your child maybe had multiple teachers during that critical part. It also could be the pandemic, but if we're talking about basic skills and I'm talking about the older kids, this is not pandemic. This is something that was going on prior. So, what was going on in some of the classrooms? Maybe they had a teacher, especially elementary. I've heard horror stories about this, that they had an elementary school teacher that didn't like math. So they kind of skipped over it. I'm like, who? You can't skip over it. But they'll be like,
Don't do
okay,
that.
we're going to do math. All right, that was it.
Right.
What?
Yeah, and parents maybe don't know how to teach their kid how to. You don't know how to teach your kid how to. Let's just be straight up. We're not born with knowing how to teach somebody how to read, right? It's just why don't you read the book? Why don't you add that? So why not give yourself the best possible, chance of success with having a coach or someone in your corner to let you know, hey, you are doing the right thing. Who is in your corner, who is on your side coaching you on, saying, yeah, okay, so does Johnny need to know this now? Okay, yes, no, or help you out, right? Like there's nothing better than having someone on your side that you can reach out to, especially during teaching as a
Right. Oh,
mentor.
yeah. Exactly. So before we go even a little bit deeper, we have a couple guests that's here. So our favorite Kathy, she's definitely here saying hi, my friends. Hey, Kathy.
Hey,
Kathy was here a couple of times ago,
right
talking
on.
about special education and really just bringing that out. And then we have my friend Raymond. Love him. I know. And just for you
Hey,
guys that you don't know where Nancy is, Nancy's in Florida right now.
it
So
is.
yeah, bug life is for real. Like
Bugs
it's
are. It's my perfume.
right. This is our de passion. Um, but just to have like you have some other educators that are here on the live as well, and amazing people, and we all get it. Now, one thing that I know there might be some people that want to know, like, how did you basically go from being in the classroom to now developing this great system? And you said it is your dream because you saw like there was this need that was met. How did you get from there to there? I know, really
Yeah.
deep early in the morning.
I like it from here to there. It kind of found me. It really found me. I was looking for something where I could be way more effective to way more people and be a teacher and also a mentor, because at that point in my life, I was a new mom, and I was really just thinking about how am I going to take care of my own son? Where is he going to go? How am I going to structure all of his life, right? Like for homeschooling or schooling. And then
Mhm.
I was in a class. My son was in a music class, and I was sitting with moms. We were always hanging out with each other, and the moms all knew me because I come in there after school and talk about what was happening in class. I was kindergarten, first grade for about 9 years in the Broward County School District here in Florida. And anyways, Parkland happened, and that is in my school district, just a few blocks away. And I was
Mhm.
just like, wow, something really has to change for me. I really have to find more what I can vibe with. How am I going to be able to make it a safe environment for my son, for myself, for everyone involved, right? So
Mhm.
I'm in this music class, and this mom is sitting across from me, and she says, "Oh, you're a teacher, right?" I says, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, well, our homeschool teacher left. He's not going to be here. I was wondering if you could maybe help us out for the summer." And I said, "Yeah, of course I could." And then they wound up offering me more of a position, like a full-time position. And I was like, "Wow, I can leave the classroom and just tutor. I'll just try it for the year." And I just wound up getting more parents be like, "Nancy, oh my gosh, you're free. You can actually tutor my kid now," because I was always in the classroom, always working, super, super busy, as you know. Being in the classroom is so many hours a day. And I
Mhm.
was able to put my time way more effective in helping out these little wonderful children all in my community. And I started working online because one of my students had a sister who also needed some help, but she was in Colorado. And so I was already working online as an online tutor, and the pandemic happened, and I just said, "Okay, we're going for it. We're just going to go crazy, and I'm going to see what I can do," because I just have so much inside of me to bring out, and I have so much like experience, especially with mamas who are new and they want support. I just love working with moms. I love working with women. In my free time, my what I do is I work with Sir Optimus Group, which is a group for women and children. We're an international organization, but we raise money for local women to go to school. It's amazing. And so next week when I host my vision board workshop for homeschool mamas, all the proceeds are going to go towards Sir Optimus. So we're going to be benefiting women and children of Sir Optimist, which is women and children in need, which is exactly what I'm here for.
That is amazing. You know what? Let's not skate by that. Let's talk about that. Let's just skip over and let's go to the upcoming attractions. Tell me about that new event that you're having.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I took a vision board workshop this summer, and it was a digital one because I'm all about being online. And I don't know if you know about vision boards, but they help you, like they put pictures, you can take pictures from magazines and put them on a piece of paper that really resonate with your vibe, with whatever you're envisioning for yourself. And I'm a huge believer in manifestation. I believe in what I see, I can make happen. But if I don't see it, how can I make it happen first, right? So once I started to see like what I wanted to spend, for example, more time with my family. I've made that happen. I've wanted to be able to have time to take care of my 95-year-old father on a daily basis. He lives with me. I have made that happen. So now he's in a safe place, and I'm home now to take care of him. I've manifested all these amazing things in my life. And I want to share that with homeschool mamas who want to manifest just kicking butt in their homeschool this year and without the stress, right? Because I know it can be a lot of stress to kind of look off into the edge of like a new adventure, especially when it comes to education and staying home all day with your kiddo. Again, we have the option to send them to school. Why do you want to keep them home? Again, helping mamas find their why and to be solid in what they're doing. So this vision board workshop's happening next Wednesday. Please just DM me for a link for the workshop, because after that kicks off this is my birthday month, so we are kicking off a huge huge series of events as well. We have kindergarten homeschool fall 2023 coming up, and that is a special 9-week course for parents who want to just get their kids through the first quarter of kindergarten
Mhm.
with support. And I'm
Wow.
going to be offering it at a super amazing discount. It's going to be the only time you get in on this kind of offer. So I'm excited about fall 2023 kindergarten homeschool. And then tutoring, I'm
Yes.
already booked up. So I
Of
would love to
course
be
you
able to
are.
say, contact me for tutoring, but I don't even see a
You're like,
minute.
can't do it.
So I'm thinking
But
about
at
group
the same,
coaching, group. Yeah.
I mean, you think about group coaching, I mean, just that little tidbit alone. That's the reason why you're fully booked. Because you're passionate in what you do, you have that communication, you're able to reach kids not only in your area, but also throughout because we have the online component. That just screams volumes of a great tutor. And that's the type of person that I know a lot of you guys are probably like, I want her. But you're going to have to get on the waiting list or you're going to have to wait till someone kind of times out because that's what happens when you get good tutors like that. They're going to book up really quick, and at the same time you know that word of mouth went out and it just blossomed. So when it comes to all your events, and this is the one thing that every time it's around, school's about to start for us. We have like a couple more weeks, but some states started last week. I'm like, that's sacrilegious. But some of them started in July. I'm like, what are you doing? That's sense. But anyway, it's always the hardest because every year I have a school right down the street from me. So when they open up the first day of school, I give parents hugs. Don't know these people because I know it's probably like the hardest thing that they've ever done. Like my goodness, I remember, and then of course they want to show me the baby pictures, and I'm like, okay, I got work, but I just wanted to give you a quick hug.
I love it.
But for the most part, it's always that first day. Like, do you have any kind of like calming tips or something, just like one thing? Don't have to get too crazy, but just like one thing to kind of help a lot of these parents because before you know it, the first day of kindergarten, even though it's like a half day or something, it's still that first day. How to prepare, not the kids, but the mamas and the papas, how to prepare them for their first day.
Yeah, I would say start talking about it now and start regulating your nervous system now. So what does that mean? Like for me, it was a big transition, especially, going from being home and then, having to be a homeschool teacher or when I let my child go to school. I think taking care of myself is the number one thing I can do for my kiddo. So making sure like I've exercised or done yoga is I think is probably like the number one thing I need to do to make sure that I can be cool with what's going on because if I don't bend, I'll break. And I don't want parents to feel that way. Like just start, thinking of not thinking, do it now, incorporate the walks every day, just something to ease that stress. And I know it sounds so cliche, it really does. However, I just know when I start getting away from it, the base level starts to get so high that you
Mhm.
need something to help you kind of keep that base level lower so that you can be your best self and show up for your kid. Because if they don't have you showing up as your best self, it's going to be really hard for them to show up as their best selves.
Yes, well said. Because that can go for homeschool, that can go for traditional schools, that can go to any type of education at any level. You have to take care of you as a parent. Like you can't forget who you are because then how can you help others?
That's right.
Well said on the knob.
And that, yeah, and that's the total thing about kindergarten homeschool too. It's all about it's the curriculum for your kid, but it's really focused on supporting, mom and dad, who are doing the homeschooling, who are actually delivering the lessons, right? So that's that's where you get the support.
Yes, definitely. So I'm just taking, yes, because Raymond, he's right on the top. Like self-care is vital. And he knows more than anything. We have worked together at a very interesting place. And we have a great, funny relationship. So many jokes, so many memories. But if anything, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can get your Instagram real quick. So if you're interested in doing the vision board activity, I'm going to get it out. Eventually it's going to come out. Or if anything, you just want to contact with Nancy even further, like definitely reach out with her. Let's see if I can try to talk tonight. Maybe. I don't know. Completely sober. What's happening? Um, on her Instagram. That's like the best place to reach out to her for the online elementary tutoring. Or if you just type in Nancy and V, if you just go Nancy V, she'll be like the first or second person to pop up. Um,
Yeah,
so you could definitely reach out for that. And then you have that kindergarten homeschool group for mamas. Just support people. You don't have to go through this by yourself. There's tons of people out there, but why not go for the best of the best if you really want to get it done and get it done right,
right on.
right? Just makes sense.
Yeah, and just keep communicating, keep talking about what's going on. Don't hold it in, let it out, get out there.
Is exactly. So, if anything, we're going to come into conclusion because we already know her uniqueness. She's amazing. Um, Done. Drop the mic. But if you are interested in, like for me, I'm doing my Facebook group. You can always join up if you're a tutor and you just want to like reach out, or if you're even thinking about, maybe leaving the classroom, going into tutoring, you can go on my Facebook group from the classroom to online tutoring. And for those people that want to start tutoring and just don't know where to start, guess what? There is a workshop on my end that's coming up August the 14th. So stay on the lookout for that. And I'll definitely start doing my promotional stuff for that next week. So again, I would love to thank Nancy so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for surviving all the heat and all the bugs and all the love that you've been sharing, even on my
Thank
other
you.
lives. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope
Love
you
you.
guys have an amazing day. And we will see you next week. Actually, I almost forgot. There is a special Two Tutors Talking that's happening tomorrow with another lady from the Philippines. Look at your girl traveling outside in her own home. Miss Jenna Lee for Tutor Jenna Lee. She's going to be, yeah, she's a math tutor, and she's also an elementary school math tutor. And just explain like her services and how things are going. So that will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for that will be a tutor, free tutor to two tutor tutor. There we go. We're gonna speak it together. So it's been a long week, guys. It's been a long week,
It's
but I'm
only Wednesday.
surviving.
Hang in there,
I
girl.
know.
Thank you so much. This is
All
great.
right. Thanks, guys. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.